Hello friends, welcome back to the CoDeSys PLC tutorial series. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the version control system using Git. So CoDeSys has introduced CoDeSys for the Git, which supports on the version control system for the CoDeSys PLC. Why we need a version control system? Because nowadays we are working in a team in a collaboration method where it's a need to support the track all the changes, revert back to a particular version and infrastructure which can support on the working on the version and in the collaboration. So what is Git? Git is nothing but it is a free and open source distributed version control system which is designed to handle everything from a small to very large project with a speed and efficiency. How exactly it works and who has developed it? It was developed by Linus Torvalds and Junio C. Hamano. These are the people who have worked on the development of the Linux and they wanted to develop something where they can be able to start tracking all the changes, all the different versions. So they developed it. So basically it has a master branch from where we create a different branches for the development, different topics, and then we merge it back into the main branch. So that is how the Git work. So let's understand how exactly we can utilize this in the CoDeSys environment. So in order to work on the Git for the CoDeSys, first we need to get the license. So license are of two type, demo mode and the license for the professional development. So I'm giving you the glimpse here about the demo mode. So first we need to register on the CoDeSys website, get the details, and then we need to have the two options. One is CoDeSys for Git, which we can download directly as a software, as a package which we can install. So we can install either by downloading or even by utilizing the CoDeSys installer. So this is one option to download it. Another option which we have from where we can get a demo license is using CoDeSys Development Professional Edition. So by default, CoDeSys provide a 30 days demo license for the Professional Edition to utilize this feature and see how it can be useful. So that we can add to the cart and proceed for the buying option. So once we check out, this particular demo license will get added into our account. So let's install it from the CoDeSys installer, the CoDeSys Git. Once it gets installed, when you open the CoDeSys, you can see there's a Git option coming in the toolbar. In order to license it, we need to go to a simple way to register the license. So to install the license, as I was telling, that we need the ticket ID, which will be there in our account when we have purchased it for the demo mode. So this is my license which I'm going to utilize. So we need to copy and paste it into the ticket ID and click on the next and activate this particular license. So when I click on the next, it will show me all the demo licenses which I have. I will select for the CoDeSys Git, and in this way it will get activated for the CoDeSys Git for the 30 days. Now I'm utilizing GitHub as a software which is providing me to upload. So we need to create a repository. Once the repository is created, let's go back to the CoDeSys. Now in the CoDeSys we need to initialize a project. So in the Git option we have the option to initialize, where we need to select a path where this particular project will get initialized for the Git. So the path should be empty and it should not contain any of the things. So I'm creating a new folder for the demo purpose, and here I will give the path. So once the path is empty and it is accepted, we can click on the OK. You see that the changes has been introduced with the plus sign. Now we need to add the remote branch because we need to push this all into the GitHub, correct? So let's get the URL. So in order to get the URL, we need to go to the repository, click on the code and copy the HTTPS link, which we will be utilizing as a URL for our remote branch. Click on the OK. This will get added. Now we need to provide the credentials. So username, whatever is the username which you have created for the GitHub account, and the password. So normally the password for the GitHub doesn't work. So we need to go into the GitHub and go to the settings, and we need to then go back to the developer settings, where we have to generate the access token. Now this access token we will utilize to log in or connect the CoDeSys for the Git with the GitHub account. So here we need to provide a lot of permissions so that it will connect and start pushing or pulling all the changes into the repo. So those we can edit, and these are the permissions, so repository permissions, which we need to provide based on the need, which will be the read and write, which will be the read only. So based on the need, we need to provide all those permission, and then only it will allow us to connect from the CoDeSys Git. So once all these things has been completed, all the permission has been done, then let's go back to the CoDeSys IDE. Here we will put the password, and then it is getting connected. So the password, whenever you are creating the token, it will be generated at that particular time. So once we have done, it is connected. So we have this particular project which is created, which we need to push into the Git. So we will select all the changes, and right now we are in unstaged changes. So we can either do by putting into the stage changes or by directly commit completed, where we need to provide name and the email and the commit message, whatever this particular commit is going to be. So once we fill the detail and click on OK, all these changes will get committed to our local initialized repo, which is on our system or the PC. It will not go directly to your remote branch. So if I go back, I have committed, but I don't see anything committed on my remote branch. In order to push these things on the remote branch, we need to go to the branches. We need to select the local branch, and we need to click on the track branch or the push branch, where you want to first push. So we need to click on the push and provide the remote branch name, and then click on OK. So once we have pushed, you can see that the tracked branch name will come, and all the details will get populated for the remote branch. Now when we go back to our repository, we can see that in the master branch the code has been pushed. So just refresh the page, because it doesn't get updated automatically. So once we refresh the page, we can see that we have now two branches, main and master. So I will go to the master, and I can see that the project has been pushed or committed into the repo. So this has been now updated. So in this way, we can initialize or create the repo with our initial changes. So this is all happening on the first part by connecting it to the Git. All the things, all the details, you can go into the folder structure. You can see how exactly they are coming. So basically you will not be able to read it directly into the GitHub, because this is coming very proprietary method or proprietary language by the Git. So they have their own structure which can be only supported to read it back into the CoDeSys ID environment. So we cannot go back and read just like we do in IT. All the details we cannot see. We can see, but it is very hard to read because they have their own specific formatting for the changes which we are doing. So we have created a branch. Now let's see how we can clone it. So in order to clone, we need to go to again back to the Git. We have the option there to clone Git repository. So here we need to provide the URL details. So which again we can go and copy it from the code and HTTPS link. So this is the repo which we need to clone. So this is the URL which we need to put into the CoDeSys ID for the URL part. The source will be the URL. Git repository locals, we need to again create an empty folder where this will get initialized or cloned into the local system. We need to create a project file. So project file will also get created into a different folder, into the same folder, but it should be empty, where we can provide the file name with which we want to get this project created and click on the OK. So once we click on OK, the project will get created and we can see that it has the name. So this is the initial structure which will get created when we are cloning. Now we can go to the staging and we can see that there are two changes which we have done. So either we can push it or we can just delete the changes. Now we can go back to the remote branch. We need to see whether we are connected or not. Then we can go back to the branches. Now in the branches, if you see when we are connected, this particular branch details will be coming here. Now we need to get it from the repo. So first we need to do a track branch, because from which branch we need to get, we need to put that. So remote branch is from the master we need to get. So I will change it using track branch. And once we have done it, then we can select the particular branch. If it is not coming, then we can utilize this fetch feature. So with the fetch feature, we can fetch all the details directly into the local repo. So once we have done, we need to click on the pull. So when we click on the pull, it will ask and provide information. We can click on OK. And when it start pulling it from the branch which we have specified, the whole project which is there will get completed and all the devices and everything will get shown into the CoDeSys ID. So in this way, we can clone the repo into the CoDeSys ID by utilizing pull feature. So whatever the changes were there, whatever we had done, so all those things will be remaining here. Now when we have cloned, we start working on the project and we do some changes. Okay, so as this is just cloned and it is on the local repo, whatever the changes we do, it will remain only on the local part. So let's do a change and see how exactly it is getting done. So I've done a change. Now let's go to staging. So if you can see that all the things which we have cloned is showing on the stage changes, and the thing which I have modified is showing in the unstaged change, because this particular part is modified, which we need to either commit or update. So let's go to the history and see what exactly right now we are doing. So if we have done any changes in the history, when we click on the compare, right now it will not show any difference because we have modified, but it is still in the unstaged change. We have not done anything, so there is no comparison view is available. So in order to get the things corrected, what we need to do is we need to first make it to the staged part. Once it is done, we can say and go back to the history again. Let's see how exactly it is showing. So still, if we compare, it will not show anything because still it is in the stage change. We have not done any changes, correct? So this, it has not seeing anything with the remote branch what exactly has been done. So we need to do the commit completed. Again, fill all the details, name, email, all those things are needed. So once we have filled the details and we say okay, it will get committed still into our local repository. Okay, so it will remain into our local repository. So let me see what is the issue, because this compare view was open, so it will not allow us to do any change there. So now we can see the remote branch, what exactly all the things happened on that, and with our current branch. So now we can do a comparison that whatever the changes we have done with the different versions which has been committed into the repo, what are the differences. So it will show you here exactly where the differences are. So for example, in the PLC program we have a difference. So when you click on that particular icon, it will show what exactly the differences are with the initialized branch. So this is showing with with respect to initialize branch. We can check with another branch also what exactly. So we need to select that particular branch and click on the compare. So when we click on the compare, it will again show okay, so we have done changes in the PLC program only. So what changes, that it will show the difference, that in the uh, another branch version this particular variables were there, but in the device right now what all the variables are there. So in this way we can do a comparison also with different branches, and based on that we can track or revert back to particular branch where we want to go, or if we want to commit, we can do a commit also with the new changes. So in this way we can do a comparison between different branches also in the CoDeSys ID. But all these things are present only in the CoDeSys ID. We cannot go back onto the repo and do all this comparison analysis. So now let's see how we can accept the changes. We can revert back to a particular branch, how we can do that. So here if you see, I'm right now with comparing the view between two branches, and we have the option there to accept the block or accept single. So when I click on the accept block, we can see that it has been accepted, and then that particular changes will be coming into the project. So it is asking me, do you want to commit the changes which we have done? If I click yes, it will commit those changes. And now when I go back to my PLC program and see what exactly the difference, you can see that it has been modified. Okay, so once it is modified, I need to commit it. Once we commit completed, we need to provide the commit message, what exactly the changes or whatever we want to fill updated. Once it is committed, in that case we will see that a new branch has been created, which we put a commit message updated, and now our PLC code has been also updated with that particular change. So if you see, earlier we had AI2, now because we revert back to the different branch and the changes has been committed, so it has updated the code also with the old one. So in this way we can do a different versions track and revert back to the different branch details and get the code updated directly. So if you compare now, what is the difference? Earlier we had AI2, right now we don't have. So I'm just giving you the glimpse how exactly. Now if I will accept the block, now what will happen with the old branch? So the AI2 will get updated here, and the same way means we have accepted, we need to commit, and the process remains same. Now if I go back to the repo, here if you see, right now the details, the commit which we have done is not getting updated, so it is still at the added AI1, so which is of my 2 days back. Okay, now as I was telling that we need to push the change in order to reflect it back into the repo. So it remains into the local repo till we are not pushing it to the remote branch. So in this way the whole CoDeSys works. Thanks for watching. That's all for this video. See you in the next one.